Hey, you're stuck in traffic. Wolf Gorlick, a couple-minute riff on IT and IT security. Today, looking at persistence, specifically with Active Directory group policy, how to do it, and how to prevent it. So, when you hire a pen tester, you're like, hey, break into our environment. We're like, we'll be there in 10 minutes. And the pen testers show up, right? And you've got your wall, and they break in your wall, and they're like, yay! And you're like, oh. And then we get a report, and you remove those steps that led to the break-in. Awesome. Pause for just a moment. A lot of the time that a criminal spend is not during breaking in, it's post-exploitation, persisting in the network. No matter what the attack lifecycle you use, kill chain, whatever it may be, there's always that aspect of persistence, and pen testing does not test for it. So the tip for you is, A, consider persistence in your controls and realize that that's a blind spot, and B, specifically look at Active Directory group policy. Active Directory group policy has been known for a long time. A series of XML files stored on sysfile and domain controllers, pulled down every time a machine boots by the computer for the computer policies, pulled down every time a computer logs in by the user for user policies, applied within the registry and file system and other configuration changes by that XML file being ran by a processor on the local computer. Now, bad guy breaks in. Bad guy gets access to Active Directory. You could create a user. But oftentimes today we are monitoring for that, right? I hope you're looking for users are creating demand admin level. So maybe that's not the right approach. Another approach is to inject the persistence in group policy, knowing that that persistence is now going to be pushed out to every single box. This is not theoretical. Mandiant's M-Trends report this year looked at it and mentioned it, that attackers are now using these group policy objects, the very same IT infrastructure we rely on, for persistence. And it makes sense, because you're not going to get detected, right? No one alerts when a group policy gets applied. We know they're getting applied. They get applied all the time. So it kind of scoots under the radar. What can criminals do to maintain persistence with a group policy? Well, they can do things like set local accounts passwords, maybe re-enable guest and set the password there, maybe set the admin password to something, local admin on the boxes, those types of things. They can do things like scheduled tasks, having a task that runs and opens up the service. They can run services at system, which, as we all know, is higher level permissions than the Active Directory account. They can create a service account, put it in the local admins, and have that open up a port. All these things are doable because these are all traditional IT tasks. We don't necessarily think of them as being pen tests, right? Well, of course we want to have a known user. Of course we want to have guest enabled or disabled guest. Of course we want to run services so we can get into the box. All those things pretty normal. But also, if the attackers are put in place, could create all sorts of problems. How do you detect this? Well, much like detecting when someone creates a domain admin is all about auditing the domain admin's group and looking for changes. The way you detect this is by doing file integrity monitoring on sysfile. When those XML files change, get alert on it, know what the change is, and investigate that change. What in this group policy changed and why? That's the detective aspect of it. You've got to look at the diff. Otherwise, you're going through every single setting, and frankly, unless you're a real hardcore Windows guy, a lot of those, you're not going to spot it. There's a lot of settings there. So, set up file integrity monitoring sysfile, watch for changes, be aware that criminals are using these XML files as group policy files for persistence, and consider the full attack lifecycle when designing your controls. That's it for me today. See anything cool with group policy? Hit me up. Have a good one.